Morning. Hi, this is Travis from the National Weather Service, and this is your weather hazard briefing for Friday, November 14th. We will have a weak system move through today. Um, Very light rain down low and snow up high, generally in the 8,000. Could have some mix down to 6,000. But we will have some cooler temperatures of the weekend. Have a little bit dry on Saturday, at least initially, and then upper level low moves into our area late Saturday, and then it really Sunday, Monday, Tuesday system moves through us with the chance of rain and valley rain and high mountain snow. Here's our current water vapor imagery. The long way trough is more or less right here and ending with an upper level low right down right off the screen. Why that's significant? It's kind of a split flow right now. We have that weak system moving through right now. We'll have southerly flow out ahead of that system this morning, and then this afternoon it'll turn to west southwest as that system moves through, and then we have this upper level low that will move over us late Saturday and really in Sunday, Monday, and then there's another trough system on Tuesday. So breezy today, particularly along the I-86 corridor, downslope winds initially southerly, and then as we switch over late morning, early afternoon to a west-southwest as that system moves through, a little bit breezy behind, gust up to 25 to 30. Well, we'll show those in a minute. I believe that was around 30 to 35. But again, we'll show that in a second. And then again, lingering breezy. I could have put the showers on here. We have some late. They're really around midnight or so. It could be slightly after. So we'll wait on the timing for that. But Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays when that upper level low goes through. And in general, the snow levels will be still relatively high, maybe 7,500 feet to start with, and then pretty quickly go to about 7,000 feet by late Monday and a Tuesday. They'll go down to about 6,500 feet. But in general, we're not going to see a lot of rain and snow off of that, but I'll show you those amounts in a second. So here's our temperatures for today. Still some 60s. Didn't cool down quite as much as we had anticipated earlier 2-3 days ago, but still a small cool down from yesterday. Yesterday we had a couple of records across the area of Pocatello and Idaho Falls for temperatures with the downslope winds. So here's the wind gusts this afternoon. You can see they're in general in that 30-35 range across Arctic Desert and Upper Snake Plain. And that's post-frontal behind the front. Early this morning, there'll be some gust of 25, maybe 30 right along this I-86 corridor. But again, that switches from southerly to the west-southwest as that system moves through. So here's our chance of precip for today. Here's our amounts, generally 1 to 3, up to a quarter of an inch. QPF. It's favoring the upslope areas of the Sawtooths, Pioneers, and then the Big Holes and the Teton area. So it's kind of where the higher amounts, the quarter inch, will be. And then here's for our temperatures Saturday morning, particularly cool in the Central Mountains. It's still a little bit on the warm side in our southwest areas. And Saturday, here's our temperatures. Mostly in the 50s, although there's still lingering a couple 60s across the area. Wind gusts, not that bad on Saturday. I had high pressure ridging mostly. And then, like I said, that upper level will start to move in later. That's probably where you get a lot of the winds is much later. Although there's not very much winds on Saturday. So here's our precip chances. Again, this is late Saturday as that upper level low starts to move into our area. Not a lot of QPF, generally a couple hundreds. And then our rain. And then here's a Sunday morning, a bit warmer with that southerly flow moving in, and then the cloud deck. And then Sunday, here's your high temperatures, 50s across the area. Sunday afternoon, here's your winds. Mainly, you're getting some southerly winds downsloping across the Utah border area. So that's your strongest winds as that upper level low starts to move through the area. Here's your precip amounts and QPF. You actually see some that's up to half an inch upslope in the Central Mountains, Wood River Valley area, Sun Valley area. So they could get a half an inch and potentially up to 3/4. But right now it looks like a quarter of an inch solid and some upper ends of a half an inch. and then the rest of the area just receiving near a tenth currently. Here's our temperatures Monday morning. And then as we go, we're actually instead of 50s, we're in 40s. So it does cool down on Monday after that low moves through. And then not real gusty, although there's some up to 20. And then Monday, here's your precip chances. And snow, again, it's quite high, 7,500, and then goes down to 7,000 feet. You go to 6,500, you go into Tuesday. And then here's your precip accumulations on Monday, mainly in the mountains, fairly light in the valleys near 100th. And then as you go into Tuesday morning, here's your temperatures. One of the coolest yet as far as the morning temperatures, and again in the 40s on Tuesday. And then here's your wind gusts, relatively light on Tuesday. Just mainly in the mountains. A chance of precip on Tuesday. And here's your QPF amounts, relatively light. Except down in the southern areas, could get up to a quarter of inch in the Wasatch and along the Utah border. So just to recap, we have a very weak system moving through today. Snow levels are quite high, 8,000. You have accumulating 1 to 3. Could you have a snow rain mix down to about 6,000 feet? Breezy today. Start with that southerly winds, downslope along the I-86 corridor. Breezy southerly winds everywhere, but as we get that system move through late morning into early afternoon, we switch, become more west-southwest, and gusts up to 30 in the Arco and desert, as well as the upper Snake Plain. Slightly cooler temperatures, particularly as we go through the weekend into next week, with Monday into Tuesday being the coolest. And then we have that upper level lows, again, moves over us late Saturday, but really Sunday, Monday, and then another weak system on Tuesday. And the snow levels eventually dropped to about 6,500 by Tuesday, but not a lot accumulating snow. You saw a couple of those days of the southerly wind going into the Wood River Valley or the Sun Valley area that could potentially have up to a half an inch. So up high they could get 4 to 6 inches of snow in that area, but again it's going to be quite high, 7,500 feet or so. So this concludes the briefing. If you have any questions, give us a call at this number. Thanks.